Hey guys, it's Kelly. So today I'm going to be sharing some books with Asian characters, Asian protagonists, and maybe also written by Asian authors that you guys should check out for the month of May. If you guys didn't know, the month of May is Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and all throughout May, there is the Asian Readathon happening, hosted by Read with Cindy, which I will link down below. Additionally, in celebration of it being Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, I thought it would be great to give you guys some recommendations talking about Asian characters, Asian protagonists, and also Asian authors. Asian representation in the media and in literature, especially to me, is so important. I think growing up, I didn't really have that many Asian role models to look up to that weren't my parents or immediate family members. I think the most I've had was Mulan and Cho Chang from Harry Potter, and both of those characters are great, but I really didn't feel like they resonated with me and who I was a lot of the time. So now that I am 21 years old, reading about these characters that would have inspired me as a young reader to, I guess, be more like them or embrace my culture more and my heritage more, and I guess be more proud of who I am. I think that would have definitely have shaped my life differently, and it wouldn't have taken a long journey for me to get here to be finally proud of my heritage and who I am and where I come from. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox now and recommend you guys some books that you could check out and read during this month of May. So let's get started. The first book that I have to recommend for you guys is Avatar: The Last Airbender: The Rise of Kyoshi by F.C. Yee, and this is a prequel to the Avatar: The Last Airbender universe following the Avatar Kyoshi. If you guys don't know, Avatar: The Last Airbender, such a fantastic show. It comes out on Netflix on May 15th. The Avatar is the peacemaker between the four nations of Earth, Air, Wind, and Fire, and he or she is also the bridge between the spirit world and our world. So like I said before, this specifically follows the Avatar Kyoshi and her adventures and how she got to becoming the Avatar. It is a lot of fun, and you don't need to know anything about Avatar: The Last Airbender necessarily to jump into this book, but I do highly recommend watching that show because it is freaking good. It is so good. Avatar: The Last Airbender has a lot of Asian and East Asian influences in it, so you should check it out. It's fantastic. The next recommendation I have is Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Choi, who is a Korean-American author. This book follows a boy and a girl who meet by happenstance, and they exchange numbers and agree to become each other's emergency contact, where they soon find themselves telling each other their deepest secrets and greatest dreams. This book, it's not necessarily anything like mind-blowing or whatever, but I loved it because it was really cute and just a nice read. I also related a lot to the main character, Penny. I thought it was just fun and just a nice, easy read. The next recommendation I have is Something in Between by Melissa De La Cruz. This follows Jasmine, who is a straight-A student, and as she's applying for college, she finds out that her family are undocumented immigrants from the Philippines. This book, not the greatest in writing, I will be frank. However, this book is really important to me because of the representation in this book. I am Filipino American, and I have never seen a book written about a Filipina American main protagonist before. I've never come across something like this, which is really important to me. As much as I don't necessarily like Jasmine's character that much, and I don't think that this book is phenomenal or anything, I think this book is just important because of its representation. When I read this book, I was about Jasmine's age, like 17 or 18, and so seeing a girl like me written in the pages of a published book is just so important. It does touch upon some serious topics of obviously deportation, but I think it's also fun in a lot of other senses, like the romance in it. It's like cute, and I just love seeing myself and my life, you know, vaguely reflected through the pages of this book. The messages in it are kind of like hokey, but you know what? It's definitely still worth checking out. It's an easy read, and we love representation. Am I right? The next book I have is honestly one of my all-time favorites, and that is Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. You guys have probably heard this book being recommended to you, especially now during this time of year, like crazy, but I think it's definitely worth the hype that it gets. This book follows a family who recently discovers that their daughter Lydia has drowned in the lake, and it's kind of them uncovering their story and uncovering what exactly happened to Lydia. I absolutely love this book. I keep saying that, but it's definitely worth checking out. I can't say it enough, but you should check it out. And the last recommendation I have before I get into my TBR is The Body Papers by Grace Tolosan. This is a memoir about the author Grace and her story about being Filipino, growing up Filipino American, and also her going back to the Philippines and just understanding who she is. It talks about her childhood and the trauma that she's experienced growing up. This book really sticks with me, of course, because this author is Filipino and she's writing about her life that I really related a lot to in a lot of ways. And fun fact, she also was a guest speaker. My Filipino Student Association at my university brought her in to speak and talk about her book and her experiences and things. Unfortunately, I was not able to go, which makes me so sad. I had class, but nonetheless, I think this book just has a lot of heart and it's very moving, and it's such a quick read too, so I highly recommend it, and I absolutely loved it. Now for books that I am currently reading. The first book that I am currently reading is Warcross by Marie Lu. Marie Lu is one of my favorite authors. She wrote the Legend trilogy and also the Young Elites. Warcross follows a girl named Amika Chen who is a hacker and also a bounty hunter who catches players that are betting illegally on the game called Warcross. Warcross is this virtual reality world game where they have championships called the Warcross Championships that's hosted internationally, and Amika soon finds herself involved with these games as she's hired by the game's creator, Hideo Tanaka, to catch a security breach in the system. I'm currently listening to this on audiobook and I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm having a lot of fun. It's just great. It's a fun time. The next book I'm reading is All You Can Ever Know by Nicole Chung, and this book is a memoir. This follows the author, who is Korean, adopted by a white family in Oregon, and it's just about her trying to discover her identity and discovering who she is as a transracial adoptee. I am only on page 1, but I definitely feel like I will really enjoy this book a lot, and I'm excited to dive more into it. And now for books that I plan on reading for the rest of this month. The first book I have is Pachinko by Min-jin Lee, and this documents 4 generations of a Korean family living in Japan. I've just heard great things about this book and I'm just super excited to read it. The next book I have is Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami, and this is about this boy named Kafka who runs away, and also about this elderly man named Nakata. Not sure what else it's about, but I really want to read some of Haruki Murakami's writings. He is an author that I've had on my list that I want to check out books that are written by him, so I'm excited to read this book. Don't really know necessarily what it entails, but I'm excited. The next book I have is The Astonishing Color of After by Emily X.R. Pan. The author is Taiwanese and Chinese American. This story follows a girl who recently discovers that her mom has committed suicide. There's elements of magical realism in this book that I'm excited to see, and I just feel like this book could make me cry. And the last book I hope to get to in the month of May is Permanent Record by Mary H.K. Choi, who is also the author of Emergency Contact. This follows a boy who is a college dropout and a social media star, and how their worlds sort of collide and how they try to connect. Like I said, I really liked Emergency Contact, so I hope that I really like this book as well. So that is it for my recommendations and the books I'm currently reading and the books I hope to get to for the month of May. Like I said, check out the Asian Readathon, which I will link down below, and just give some love to some Asian representation in the media wherever. It's so important. Be proud of your culture. Took me a long time to get here, but you know what? I am a proud Filipino. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!